NASCAR has penalized Austin Cindric after he wrecked Ty Dillon at the beginning of the Cup Series race at the Circuit of the Americas down there in Austin, Texas. So I wrote this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. First off, let's just take a look at what happened right here from Mr. Matthew CFB over on X. Cindric obviously in the number 2, Ty Dillon in this number 10 car right here. So here we go.
Didn't like that.
So Dillon runs him wide, runs him off the track. Cindric obviously comes down to the left, spins him out, making contact with his right rear. Here it is again. You can see he's actually off the track, comes back over, and then spins him out. So that is what happened. Obviously, pretty clear that Cindric was retaliating against Ty Dillon. And so NASCAR announced it fined Cindric $50,000 and docked him 50 driver points. This point penalty dropped Cindric from 11th to 34th in the standings. As for why they chose to give him this monetary fine and driver points and not give him a suspension, as we saw with Bubba Wallace back in 2022 after he wrecked Kyle Larson at Las Vegas, as well as Chase Elliott being suspended in 2023 after he wrecked Denny Hamlin at Charlotte. Mike Forde said this during the most recent episode of Hauler Talk. He said, "The reason we landed on points and fine is that we take every situation, every violation as its own unique incident. In this case, we did feel that it was significantly different than the previous two. And the reasons are, you look at it, it is at a road course, lower speeds, tight confines to begin with, and the result didn't even draw a caution flag. Those were really the reasons we chose to err on the side of letting him race this weekend at Phoenix, going with a fine and a significant driver points penalty." He later added, "If we suspended him, the punishment wouldn't have fit the crime. It was probably going to be too severe of a punishment." So I 100% agree with that. I said in a video earlier this week that I thought they should only maybe give him a fine. I didn't even think that they should have given him a points penalty. I think that's actually a little bit too severe in this case. Obviously, we saw Ty Gibbs basically monster truck another car at Bowman Gray during the clash, and he just got a talking to. He wasn't even fined at all. I don't think Kyle Busch was penalized last year during the All-Star race where he didn't right rear Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but he clearly retaliated and wrecked him. I don't think he got penalized at all either. So obviously still a little bit of inconsistency there. Now, obviously you can say, well, it wasn't a right rear, etc. They weren't actually during the season. Those were obviously non-points races, and that factored in. But still a little bit of an inconsistent there. I do think that the points penalty is a little bit too harsh, but clearly they are trying to send a message that you should not be right rear hooking anyone. And that, I think, is the message that they are sending. So I do respect them for sending that message. I still think that by their own logic, that I still think the points penalty is a little bit too severe for the crime that took place. I think a monetary fine would have been fine, or even if you are going to do the points penalty, it has to be way, way less. 50 points is significant. That's more than a race. I think that's more than the maximum you can earn in a race. I think what do you earn? If you win both stages, you get 20 points. And then depending on how many cars are in the field or whatever, you can get like 30 points plus. So it's almost the maximum you can get in a single race, maybe a little less than the maximum there, 50 points. So I do think that is a significant penalty there. Maybe 10 points might have been a little bit more manageable given the crime that he committed. So those are kind of my thoughts on that with Austin Cindric. As far as other points penalties or other penalties, not points penalties, NASCAR did suspend Jackman, Brandon Johnson, and front tire changer Blaine Anderson, who were on Kyle Larson's number 5 car. That came after Larson lost a right front wheel after a pit stop toward the end of stage 2 during the Cup race there at COTA. Hendrick will replace Johnson with Eric Ludwig and Anderson with Jafar Hall for the upcoming race at Phoenix. So that is your points. That is your penalty update. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.